So today we're going to be transforming a figure on the coordinate plane by rotations. In our previous video, we were talking about reflections, where we use a flip transformation to move a figure on the coordinate plane. So today we're going to be looking at rotations. And rotation is just a turn transformation in which a figure turns around a fixed point. And we call that fixed point the center of rotation. For these exercises, we're going to be using the origin as our center of rotation. Okay, so just to kind of give you a little visual, okay, we're going to be rotating either clockwise or counterclockwise. Clockwise is the way of the clock, and counter is against the clock. Okay, now we're going to be doing these in 90-degree segments. So from here, pretend that I'm standing here. One turn clockwise or one turn to the right would make it so that I look like this. Okay. 180 degrees or two turns would make it so that I am now upside down. 3 turns clockwise would make it 270 degrees, and I would now be facing to the left. And if I do a full 360, then that brings me back to my original position. Counterclockwise, I'm now moving to the left or against the clock. So 90 degrees is one turn to the left, and now I am like this. 180 degrees, I am now 2 turns upside down. 3 turns counterclockwise gives me 270 degrees. And if I come back to now 360 degrees counterclockwise, I'm back to where I started. Okay. So if you'd like to pause the video to get that information, please feel free. I give you what happens to our ordered pair when we do the clockwise or counterclockwise rotations. Also, please note that 90 degrees clockwise is the same as saying 270 degrees counterclockwise. The same thing here. 90 degrees counterclockwise is the same as saying 270 degrees clockwise. Okay. Now remember, all of these rotations are about the origin, the point 0, 0. So let's get started. We're going to rotate this particular figure 180 degrees about the origin. So the two questions you need to be asking yourself right now is how many turns and in which direction. So for 180 degrees, if you notice in the chart above, it really doesn't matter whether you go clockwise or counterclockwise. We're always going to be upside down. So it doesn't matter left or right. Okay, so you make that choice. For the sake of this video, I'm going to be going counterclockwise. So I'm going to be turning in the left direction, and I want to go 180 degrees, and if I go back to my chart, 180 degrees is 2 turns. Okay, so I'm going to write that down so that I know this is 2 turns, and I'm going to go left or right. It's up to you for this one. Okay, all right, so let's take our picture, and what we're going to do is we're going to take our original here. I'm going to zoom in so you can see a little better. And we are going to turn this picture 2 turns to the left, okay? Because it's 180 degrees, it doesn't matter left or right, but 2 turns for sure. So remember, this is as if I was standing like this. 2 turns means I'm going to turn 1 and then 2, okay? So here I go. I'm going to turn this paper. This would be considered 1 turn. This would be considered 2 turns. So my image or my copy would land here in this quadrant, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the coordinates of my prime points here. So starting with F, F prime would be from the origin. I went left 1 and 1, 2, 3 up. So left 1 and 3 up. G prime would be left 1 and stay there. So that means left 1 and stay there means 0. And then H prime would be from the origin 1, 2, 3 to the left and up 1. 3 to the left and up 1. Okay? Now that we have our coordinates, I'm going to turn this paper back to its original form, and I'm going to graph these three coordinates to give me my rotation 180 degrees about the origin. So negative 1, 3, negative 1, 1 left, 1, 2, 3. This is my F prime. G prime is negative 1, 0. And H prime is negative 3, 1. So 1, 2, 3 left, up 1, H prime. Okay. All you have to do is take your straight edge and draw your image. Pretty neat, huh? Okay. Let's try a few more. Okay. So in this particular picture, we're going to be rotating 90 degrees clockwise about the origin. So you need to decide how many turns and in which direction. So 90 degrees I know is just one turn. And clockwise is the way of the clock, so that means that we're going to go towards the right. So I'm going to say one turn right. Okay? So let's take our graph here, and we're going to turn it one turn to the right. Now remember, if I'm like this, that means that I'm going to turn and I'm going to be sideways. Okay? So here we go. From here, I'm going to turn my paper so that the axes then meet like that. And this is where my copy would be because I went one turn to the right. So I, J, K, L, we're going to write their prime coordinates. From the origin, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left and up 3. So 5 to the left, up 3. J prime from the origin is 1 to the left and stay there. 1 to the left, stay there. K prime is 1 to the left and 1, 2 down. 1 to the left and 2 down. And L prime from the origin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left and stay there. So 5 to the left and stay there. Okay? So now that we have our coordinates, now we can go and turn our paper back to its original form, and we're going to graph these four coordinates. So for I prime, I'm going to go negative 5, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left and up 3. This is I prime. J prime is 1 to the left and stay there. K prime is 1 to the left and 2 down. And L prime is 5 to the left and stay there. Okay. Now use a straight edge to draw your figure. And this is now your new image. Okay. We turned it 90 degrees clockwise. Okay. Our next picture tells us that we need to rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise about the origin. So 90 degrees counterclockwise, what does it mean? How many turns and in which direction? Okay. So 90 degrees I know is one turn. And counterclockwise is against the clock. So instead of going right, we're going to go left this time. Okay, we have to. It says counterclockwise. So let's take our original graph here. And again, counterclockwise means I'm going to turn to the left like this. Okay? So here we go. Counterclockwise from here, we're going to turn it left only one turn. So it's going to look like this. So this is where my image should land. So we're going to write the coordinates. And again, you can pause this video at any time so that you can do it yourself. And then we can check our answers together. Okay. P prime should be at 1, 2 to the right and 1 down. So 2 to the right and 1 down. Q prime is 1 to the left and 1, 2, 3 up. 1 to the left and 3 up. And R prime from the origin, 1, 2, 3 to the right and 2 up. So 3 to the right, 2 up. Okay. Let's take this paper back to its original form. And now we're going to graph these three coordinates. So starting with P prime, we're at 2 to the right and 1 down. That's P prime. Q prime is 1 to the left and 3 up. and R prime is 3 to the right and 2 up. Okay, so now you just connect and draw your shape. And this is your image. Okay, 90-degree rotation counterclockwise. Okay, let's try another one. We want to turn this one 180 degrees about the origin. Remember, our center of rotation has been just the origin. Okay, so what does it mean? How many turns and in which direction? We know that 180 degrees is 2 turns. And direction, well, it doesn't matter because we're going to be upside down, so left or right. I'm going to choose right this time just because last time we chose left. Okay, so let's get started. Here's our original. We want to turn it 2 turns to the right. So this is, remember me, I'm going to turn 1 turn and then 1 more turn so that I'm upside down. Okay, so we're going to turn it. This is 1 turn. This is 2 turns. And now we're going to write the coordinates of our image. So F prime is going to be at 1, 2 to the right, 2 up. So 2 to the right, 2 up. G prime is going to be at 0 and then up 1. So we stay there and up 1. And then H prime is going to be from the origin 1, 2, 3 to the left and 1, 2, 3, 4 up. So 3 to the left and 4 up. Okay, let's turn this paper back to its original form. And we're going to graph these coordinates. So F prime is at 2 to the right, 2 up. G prime is stay there and move up 1. Don't forget your primes. And then H prime is negative 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3 to the left and 1, 2, 3, 4 up. Okay. Draw your figure. Okay. Pretty neat, huh? Okay, last one. This time, you need to describe what type of transformation took place. Okay, so what's happening here, all right? So you get to figure out what happened. Remember, always remember to identify which one is your original and which one is your copy. So to remind you, original is always the one that doesn't have any primes, no apostrophes. So this one doesn't have little apostrophes. So this is our original one, the OG one, okay? So from here, what happened so that we can get up here, okay? So you can kind of fiddle around with your paper. Remember, we're talking about number of turns and in which direction. So if I turn this, and we're only looking at this original, how do we get this original to be up here, okay? If I turn it 1 turn to the right, is it up here? No, it's not. Well, how about if I go back to its original form and I turn to the left 1 turn? No, it's still not up here. Okay, well that didn't work. So maybe I can try 2 turns. And remember, it doesn't matter which way we go because we're always going to be upside down. So let's try it. Here's 1 turn. And here's 2 turns. Am I where I was supposed to be? Yes. So I think we found the transformation that took place. And for this particular one, this was a rotation. Because it was 2 turns, I can't just say 2 turns. So we're going to say that's 180 degrees about the origin. Because the origin is our center of rotation. Okay? Well, I hope that gave you a better understanding of rotations on the coordinate plane. See you next time.